introduce us here to Ed.
So, at the same time, we were also working on this Ronaele, which is a Mustang conversion kit that Ed is very responsible for. It has the 300 has the same drivetrain and battery system that we have in the Shelby America, and we're also going to be producing a 600 kilowatt version with Ed and Ronaele that will have 2 motors, twice the power off the line, and twice as many batteries to be able to pull it off. So it'll have in excess of 2,000 foot-pounds of torque, and that will mean it will be able to pull close to 2 horizontal G if we have enough rubber on the road.
Yeah, I got to keep the rubber on the road.
And
But yeah, I would say what started this whole thing is if you have a platform like this that's capable of putting out, let's just start with the 300, which is 300 horsepower with about 1,000 foot-pounds of torque. What vehicle are you going to use? Are you going to use a small 2-seater that kind of torque would just rip the whole rear end right out of the car? That would definitely not be the way to go. You would want to go to what we call a muscle car. So Ronaele builds muscle cars up to 700 horsepower, and the rear ends can handle up to about 1,800 horsepower. So you put this kind of platform even on the 300 horsepower, and that will transfer back to the drivetrain to the rear end, and we can change the gears around. We can go anywhere from the 300s to the 400s in the ratio on that. So what that's going to do is give you a platform that's going to work with the car. So we've already got all the working components, so really the only thing that we have to do is just get the road out, connect this platform to the rear end, get it on the road and start testing, and then try to figure out how much percentage of the battery we're going to be able to use to keep the wheels on the ground, because that's a tremendous amount of torque. But let's say we go to the 600 horsepower. With the 600 horsepower, we're going to use 2 motors, and we're going to use probably 2 battery packs so we can get enough to do for racing, maybe 50 to 100 miles depending on what kind of driving you have. And with that one, you're going to have 2,000 foot-pounds of torques. So once again, you're going to be stuck with a muscle car that's going to be able to handle that kind of horsepower. So.
And what are some of the things you're looking forward to doing with this car? The Cobra is going to be sold, 10 vehicles next year. Will this one be available for people, or are you just testing it out to take it out to the strip, or what's the plan?
No, we've been selling these cars for about 2 years, and they're all gas powered, and they range from about 300 horsepower to 700 horsepower. So we're going to be selling these electric models probably within about 3 months.
Okay.
So we're going to be ready for delivery because the platform's already there. The rear end that can handle that kind of horsepower is already there. And it's just basically just going in and speccing in what you need, working with the computers, working with the Ford computers to keep the ABS going. You've got air conditioning. And the nice thing about it, with this car, it's a 4-seater car, and you're going to be able to keep everything. You're going to be able to keep your airbags, the frames, and we also reinforce everything. We're going to be reinforcing the strut tower braces. We're going to be reinforcing down below where the K member is. We're going to be putting in Detroit lockers, new different rear ends. Whatever it takes to handle that platform, we can change all that around. We have that capability. It's been around for a while already. So there's not a lot of research and development. It's already there. It's ready to go.
Yep. What are people going to be paying for a ride like this?
If you bring the car to us, it's going to run right around $80,000, but that gives you a lot more. It includes everything to deal with this platform, this electric platform, and it includes regulators, everything. There's no hidden cost. And it also includes the Ronaele package, which is the full appearance package with the buried stripes. It also includes the wheel and the brake package because you need the braking system for that kind of power. It already includes that. It includes the suspension system, includes the interior on the car. And overall, if you do a 300E convertible, full-blown, you're looking at under $100,000. And the nice thing about that, with Ronaele and this kind of platform, you're in a timeless machine. This car is going to look just as good 20 years from now, and it's still going to run 250,000 miles worth of charges. So you got a car that you could probably finance for about 10 to 15 years. So your car payment's going to be about the same, and to fill this car up, it's going to cost you about $7.
And then you can go how far?
$7 charge, you're going to be able to go about 100 miles. If you do a dual battery pack, you're going to be able to go about 200 miles on one charge.
Is that with the 600, or is that a dual battery
That's with
pack
a
on the
300.
300?
On a 300, yes.
Okay. It seems like one of the things, especially that in talking with Michael, I mean, you know, these kind of cars are just a heck of a lot of fun. If you guys have been selling the gas versions for a while, and now you're getting into the electric versions, what have been some of your thoughts as far as, you know, comparing the two, or the things that buyers or prospective buyers are telling you as far as, hey, there's an electric in there?
Yeah, well, the gas versions are a blast, but there's a lot of parts on there that can break, and those cars are very temperamental. This car, we can take it, you've got very few moving parts, so there's really nothing that's going to break on the car. And you're going to have almost double the horsepower because of the torque. On my 700 horsepower cars, you're going to get about 700 pounds of torque. On this car, you're going to get 2,000 pounds of torque. You're going to have the fastest street car on earth. There's not going to be anything that can hold a candle to this with 2,000 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah.
We just have to figure out how to keep the wheels on the ground.
Yeah.
And there's going to be hardly anything that's going to be able to break on the car.
What are some of the strategies you're looking at to accomplish that, keeping the car on the road?
Well, we already had the suspension system. And the other thing is going to be talking to tire manufacturers and going to different size rims, things like that. And getting on a drag strip with that kind of torque, we're going to be running 9-second street legal cars, which is unheard of in the industry. And then if we get on the road and track, then we're going to be able to take the corners just like everybody else, but when we get on the straightaways, no one's going to be able to keep up with us. We're going to have the fastest car available that you're going to buy that's going to be street legal.
The 300E, what do you think the top speed is going to be?
On that car, we're going to be playing around with the gear ratio on the rear end. So right now, we're estimating right around 150 miles an hour. If we can drop that ratio, we're going to be able to get up past 200 miles an hour.
And then the 600, you have to...
600 is going to be the same.
Okay.
It's going to be probably about the same.
Okay.
Because you're limited to the amount of RPMs that electric motor is going to be able to drive. And we use a DC motor, which is very reliable. We're using extremely reliable parts on the car. So it's not like you're going to be buying something and have to fix it. These are parts that are already been out, already been proven. And as you know, electric cars have been around for many, many years already. All the way back to the 1800s, they've had electric cars. So now is a time where it's going to be in need, and the cost difference on financing something like this over 10 years, it's going to be about the same. It's probably going to be cheaper. It's here and now. You just need that platform or infrastructure for filling stations, which if Walmart did something and they had a filling station at every Walmart, you could go across the country with this car, because you can fill now with batteries. You can recharge them in 15 minutes. So you can just pull up, be just like getting gas, and just take it off again.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be an interesting one to follow. You said about 3 months from now you hope to be able to, that was producing them, selling them in about 3 months?
We're going to be able to manufacture, produce in our facilities about 130,000 square feet. It is an automotive manufacturing facility, like an assembly line, and we will be able to produce them.
All right. Well, Ed, thank you very much for talking with AutoblogGreen.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Hi. Hey, okay. Thank you about it.